Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing, man?
Don't talk to me.
Why would I
Tell
not
me,
talk to you?
because I want you to tell me about American Gods, episode 5.
Episode 5, Lemon Scented You.
You are definitely not lemon scented,
I know that's why I said you.
but you make me cringe.
In a lemon orchard, do you think they get lemon scented dew?
I don't know. Is that the thing?
I feel like it'd be a nice thing. Though I don't really like lemon, I prefer a lime scented dew.
Are there lemon orchards?
I assume so. Lemons grow on the trees, don't they?
Maybe.
Yes, it's correct. They do.
Right.
So I
Okay.
assume they do it all in one location rather than just, search the woods for lemon trees.
This is the kind of hard-nosed, incisive journalism you come to expect from the OK Squirrel podcast when we're talking about totally unrelated things.
It's just quality information.
We're meant to be talking about the most recent episode of American Gods. What did you think of
American
it?
Gods. It was... So it continues. So we're continuing on with the story rather than like last episodes of filling kind of thing. It continues. It opens up a lot more gaps of, oh, who are you? And what? That was my thoughts.
Yeah.
I got a lot of that. A lot of like, who the hell is Mr. World? And
Yeah.
is it Scully from the X-Files?
Yeah. Sorry, Gillian Anderson has already been in it. She plays the lady in the TV and so on and so forth. Let's talk about Crispin Glover as Mr. World. For one, I think it's good to see him back on our screens, because I've always liked Crispin Glover as a screen presence. He's always had a very weird...
He's got a weird face, like something happened to it.
He's got a slightly weird, seedy, slightly smarmy screen persona that I think's always been put to can be put to quite good use, whether it be in a kind of writhing loner geek as George McFly, Marty McFly's dad in Back to the Future, or as quite a creepy weirdo but good character.
I reckon a good Harvey Dent.
Okay, I'm talking about how he was in Charlie's Angels.
Oh, was he one of the angels?
No, he played the weirdo, but don't worry about it.
I've never seen it.
He's always been a good screen presence, but he's always been a bit of a weird character off screen. So, I don't know, Hollywood kind of fell out of love with him. Stopped putting him in films, but I'm very happy to see him. Yeah,
so you put him in the weirdest show in the world.
Yeah, I think it's a good place for him. And as Mr. World...
What does that mean? What's Mr. World?
I don't really want to say. It's quite ambiguous as to what, because there's... I don't know if they're bringing him in, but there's Mr. Town.
Oh my god. World.
And,
Mr. City. Mr. Province.
Not quite.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Should I know? Should I have pieced this together, or is it something I'm going to learn?
No. You wouldn't have pieced it together. You definitely wouldn't have.
What do you mean?
Well, you know.
Okay, let's go back to who is Scully then.
Scully's TV.
Oh, so okay, that makes it more sense then.
She is television.
People worship the television.
We do. TV is one of our most prominent gods. If we're taking the kind of the theory of what makes a god in this world, it's just something we devote time and passion and ourselves to. Yes. Which absolutely in this world, TV is one of those highest in the pile of things we devour and devote ourselves to.
I've got a thought on Mr. World. So is it he basically? He's looking at the world. So like, do you know how we've got this like blanket of satellites around us? Is that what he is?
No, not at all.
Okay, no man, carry on then.
No, he's much more. He's almost something else than a kind of
god.
Yeah, if we're talking God in the language of this story,
Is he just an embodiment of the world?
No.
Okay, I'm going to
That's
give
why
up guessing on this man.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. He just is Mr. World, and you're kind of he's a bit of a showrunner.
And he has powers over Techno Boy, obviously.
Not powers over, but there is a kind of weird hierarchical structure.
He's scared as hell.
Yeah, and it's a weird one, isn't it? And also, I do like how in every scene, Gillian Anderson's character, at TV, essentially, she kind of takes on different personas.
Yes.
And it was at the beginning where I was like, is that meant to be David Bowie? Because it looks like she's doing the kind of androgynous post-Ziggy Stardust 70s Bowie look, when they're in the limo at the beginning.
Yes, yeah.
And then I was like, did she deliberately say beating up the wrong guy, which is obviously a quote from Life of Mars? And then she said something about like...
what was it?
I picked out 3 or 4 embedded lines from Bowie songs in the dialogue. So it was all this quite deliberate, quite smart writing that's like tying it in, oddly enough. Because, why is she David Bowie? I mean, other than he was on TV and stuff, it's quirky, and I thought it was quite fun.
I like it. And she's doing a good job at being different people.
Yeah.
It's a strange role for someone of her age to play, I feel like.
Yeah, it's good to see her back on the... she was in, again, we talk about Brian Fuller's last show, Hannibal. She was in Hannibal as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I think he's just a big fan of hers.
Does she play a stag?
No. Why?
Isn't there a stag in that? Isn't that a prominent...
There is, yeah.
element?
I need to carry on watching it, but I'm kind of like... We're watching this at the moment, so it's like... We'll see.
So what else happened then? So we got to see the aftermath of the moons reconnecting.
Did we? What was that? Remind me.
So remind you. So after they meet in the hotel again, they have a discussion. She is very like, yes, this is... I've been cheating on you and this is it. And he's very like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have a kind of quite fun meeting with our friend, the leprechaun.
Oh, that's quite a good scene because she just dominates him.
It was good, yeah. And then I thought it was very funny when he essentially played dead. When she played dead in the bath, and he was like, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah.
Like after you've been drowning her, and then she just went dead in the. I did think that was pretty good. Again, showing its kind of lighter side. Again, it's quite morbid sense of humor, which I thought was quite funny.
Yes,
I liked that quite a lot.
Were you as scared as I was at the thought of the moons getting it on and her being basically a rotting corpse?
Yeah, there is that, because there is this kind of weird... It is that kind of... well, you don't know if it's sexy or repulsive in that... Yeah, Emily Browning, she's a nice-looking lady, but then she's got all these scars, and they're quite convincing, and you're like, she's a lady who's rotting on the inside.
Yes, and we've seen like how they had to basically like spray paint her. Like, that stuff is going to fade.
Yeah.
And especially when she's like getting in hot water.
Yeah.
I reckon she stinks. Oh, they touch on it, don't they?
Yeah.
So
that's why the flies all around her.
Why the hell would he ever get with her? It makes no sense to me.
She's his wife.
Yeah. Don't care. She's also dead and she stinks.
Yeah.
Come on,
well,
love,
I would like to point out that this film, this episode was directed by I think he's American-Mexican guy called, what's his name, Vincenzo Natali or something like that.
Okay.
I butchered his name, but I've seen a few of his films. He did Cube, which was kind of a precursor to Saw, that kind of trap horror, much more weird than Saw, but really, really great film. Then he went on to do stuff like Haunter and Splice, which is one of my favourite science fiction films of the last 10 or 15 years, which if you've seen is with Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley, and they kind of make a new spliced up creature baby that becomes kind of.
I think I have, and don't they then have to then destroy it with nitro?
Well, then it has it changes gender and kind of rapes its mum. It's really weird.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
It's excellent stuff, man. That's
It sounds outrageous.
No, it's not. It's not at all. Splice is, it's much more kind of Kubrickian, big ideas sci-fi than it's not like gore. That's just kind of one of the weird themes of the thing. Really, really interesting, fun, weird sci-fi. If you ever fancy it, it's
I'll see. Maybe one day. You're going
2009
too far off topic though.
No, I'm not. He's the guy who directed it, and I thought he brought a really nice sense of tone. That moment when that kind of tree's erupting and clawing out of the of the police station, I found was quite a cool piece of imagery,
which linked in with the Coming to America story.
Yeah.
Which remind me who that was about.
No, shit. Let's talk about that. I loved that little animated intro. I thought it was a really, really beautiful little self-contained piece of animation storytelling. I really liked it. Really liked it.
And just remind me of the god in question?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
Can't remember the name. But I really liked the tone of it. I liked the animation styling, which looked part digitized, and it looked almost like they'd made an effort to make it look kind of somewhere between claymation and stop motion. I really, really liked it. I thought that had a kind of texture and and I like that these little vignettes that come at the beginning or middle of these episodes kind of tell their own story and show off their own kind of style, and they can kind of be their own thing. I'd gladly watch that little animation in seclusion. I'd do that with a couple of them, to be honest. I actually really liked it as an episode. I thought it was, for me, it kind of, just because I kind of know what it's doing, I found it propelled the story quite with a bit more urgency than maybe the previous few episodes had been.
Yes, I would agree. Well, straight away, it sort of said, hey, here's a proper sort of introduction to 3 new characters. And
stuff happens, kind of like.
Yes, that's it. Things happen. We move along.
Not that things haven't been happening, but things have been kind of pootling along, kind of setting the stage. Like I said it the same thing early on after the first episode. In the book, a lot of it, a good third of the first half, of the first side of the book is it's setting the stage. You've got so much going on, and there's so much kind of up in the air and at stake, that you've got to set the stage for what is to come. Otherwise, it will just feel like, it's an investment. The story asks you to invest. And I think we're starting to get a bit more of a kind of payoff. But in terms of, consistency, I think it was a really good episode. I think it had a really nice tone and atmosphere, and, I think it's really good. I'm really, really enjoying it.
I would agree. It is one of the better ones that have been so far. I like how we have found out a bit more of the aura around Mr. Wednesday, and sort of them sort of acknowledging that he's not a guy to be messed with. They kind of want to sort of peacefully do whatever they're trying to do.
He was a big deal, and that's cool because there's a lot more to come from that. And I will say that even though, like I said, there's a lot of kind of noodling around and traveling and setting the stage, there are some kind of in the book, there are some big things that happen. There are some what we call water cooler moments that you will want to talk about, and you'll want to talk about with someone else who's seen the show, because, not to give any spoilers away, but things happen, big things happen, narrative altering events.
Oh, exciting.
Happen. Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to They've got to drop.
They're running
at least
out of time.
Series.
They've got what, 3 more episodes?
3 more. Only 3 more. Yeah, they've got to drop one this series at least.
Yeah, there's got to be a big for the second season to be a thing. It needs to end big. Because I still don't know anyone other than you that watches this show. It's crazy.
I know a few. I know a couple. I do know a couple of people who are watching it. But yeah.
Amazon,
I don't know.
sort your shit out,
I don't know. Yeah, like I say, it's always going to be a weird one, and I think it is cool that they've put so much money. Well, I don't think it's entirely Amazon, because before this, it's a Stars. I think Amazon kind of just picked it up.
Yeah, I agree.
It only became an Amazon Prime show, I don't know, 2 years into its development, a year and a half into its development. I'd been following it for well over a year before I knew it was going to be on Amazon. I was worried because it was a Stars show, which is a bigger deal in America than it is over here.
Say, who knows what Stars is?
Yeah, exactly. But because of that, I thought I was gonna have trouble. It would end up on Sky or something. To be honest, it did seem like I thought Sky seemed like the kind of logical place.
I'd agree. Yeah.
For this show, a weekly Sky show it makes sense.
To be honest, I reckon the amount of people that watch Sky shows would just be like, "What the hell is this?"
But there's some weird stuff on Sky, isn't there? What was what was it called? Where apparently a guy cuts his penis off.
Oh,
Fortitude, some TV show set in the snow with what's his name? I think it was called Fortitude. And apparently, in the second series, some guy lops his knob off and stuff like that. There is a platform for quite edgy, different kinds of.
Well, maybe Amazon just snatched it
show.
up with all their money.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, and I'm glad it's on Amazon because
I don't know Sky.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting to see it. Otherwise, it would have been an online jobby, which I
fully do not condone. Just so everyone knows that we do not condone illegal streaming.
I don't do it, so it doesn't bother me. I don't object to it on a moral level, particularly. I object to it especially with this show, which is a big, glossy, nice looking show. I want to watch it on my big screen in HD. I don't want to watch it some shitty online fucking sub HD rip. I'm just not interested.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's sum this episode up. We saw some things. We learned some things. We've got more mystery involved, and
Dennis Quaid's in it.
Who?
In Fortitude. Don't worry. Carry on.
Rating wise, what are you saying? What are you giving this episode?
Are we rating the episodes now?
I can't remember.
Well, we haven't been, but sure.
Out of the episodes so far, I'm going to say it's. I wish I never said this now.
Yeah, what do you mean? What's your rating system for shows? Explain to me and the listeners. What are you on about?
So I'm on about rating this episode versus the previous 4 episodes.
All right, I'd put this at number 5. That's in the order of the show.
Okay. Yeah. I will do it as well.
Yeah, I'd put it just after the 4th episode.
Oh yeah.
But just before the 6th.
Yes, because I hear the 6th is good.
Yeah. So there you go. You're welcome, mate.
Standard. That's how we do.
Right. Yeah. Looking forward to the next one. What's it called?
The next one is called Dog on a Biscuit.
Oh,
no, it's not. A Murder of Gods. Okay, this next one sounds exciting.
Well, that does sound good. A Murder of Gods. Cool, because it's kind of like, just digging into that, it's like a Murder of Crows, isn't it? A Murder of Crows is the plural of crows.
Okay, yeah.
And Mr. Wednesday has something to do with crows. Do you know what I mean? A Murder of Crows is like a pack of lion or a school of fish. That's what a Murder of Crows is. Badass pluralization.
Good, because it's basically Mr. Wednesday meeting up with his old friends.
Could well be. Who knows?
I do. I'm reading the little bit
But
of
also,
info
oh,
here.
hey, come on, mate.
Well, it says it right in front of me, mate.
Fair enough. But also, there is a kind of double. Obviously, they're playing on the kind of double meaning of murder. But that's quite, that's quite exciting. It's quite cool, isn't it?
It is. Let's find out. I'm excited for this episode now I've read that. Let's do this next week. Bang on and listen to us.
Bang on and listen to us.
That's how it is.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
Right, fuck off.
See ya.